Is this my biggest ever haul yet, ever? Is this the rarest record in my collection? Tune in to find out. Is this my wobbliest record ever? Record tips, how to buy them. $1 garage haul sale finds collection video. Amazing haul, top 100, favorite, clickbait, titles, attention, views, the list goes on. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is well. As you may have guessed, that little intro was a bit of a joke slash a subtle dig or nod to a lot of it seems a lot of videos these days, especially on YouTube, are all the titles always seem to be sort of useless questions without really answers, sort of aimed at getting views. Is this my, or the rarest record, or can this, I don't know, it's really weird that, I guess, this sounds like me being the old man yelling at cloud thing, but everyone, a lot of people making videos seem to be obsessed with how rare something is, or just showing off or bragging rather than talking about music. And maybe I'm watching the wrong parts of the VC, but I just can't believe, yeah, all these titles and the crazy things and question mark, rare records, like, I don't know. I suppose everyone can make whatever they want to make, but I don't know. I was just thinking about it this morning. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna talk about it, because it seems that there used to be a massive focus on music in the vinyl community and showing the records and talking about them. And people still do that. There's a lot of people that still do that, which is fantastic. But then there's a lot of this whole new market, people like Vinyl Eyes, who it's more about the physical medium or the color splattle variation or the rarity or the, you know, buying it because it's rare. It just annoys the hell out of me, but I should just accept that because everyone has their own channel, they can do whatever they want. But it's just a bit sad, I don't know, I just feel like the vinyl community's moved into this place where it's all about showing, not really about sharing, in a way. I don't know, maybe I just need to get that off my chest, something like that. Yeah, I don't know, since I'm starting the rant, I feel like I could go down a rabbit hole here, but a lot of people refer or seem to think of their channels as like shows. Welcome to the show. This is my show, like like they're on like a talk show or something like that. It's just a dude sitting behind a camera talking rubbish to fill his sad life to you guys. Like there's no, I don't know, people want to be brands. I don't get it. It's like, you know, they like people who make merchandise for their channel, like, fucking hell, what the hell? Why would you want to wear a t-shirt with someone's name on it? I don't know, maybe I'm just a grumpy old man, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like just because you can doesn't mean you should sometimes. I don't know. I'm having a grumpy day. And it sort of ties into what I want to talk about in this video, which is important to me, but maybe not to a lot of people. And that's just talking about rarity of records versus the price, versus the discog's price, versus how good the music can actually be. But mainly specifically in New Zealand, because unlike explaining why further on, it works very differently here to how it does in the UK, in the US, Europe, and even Australia, in terms of how records can be perceived. It's hard to describe, but we'll just cut straight into it. Okay, so basically the idea behind this video came because I picked up a ridiculously amazing selection of New Zealand records that I never thought I would get, because they're next to impossible to find. I didn't get them all super cheap. I didn't find them all in a box together. This has sort of been the last sort of 6 or 7 months of accumulating these records. I got quite a few of them at this Deceased Estate sale that I don't stop talking about. They weren't as cheap as the other ones, but they were definitely half or quarter of the price of Discog's value. And And it's one of those things where people from New Zealand will probably go, wow, I can't believe you have these records if you're here, but they're just completely unknown to the rest of the world. It doesn't mean anything. You know, like if any of you guys know any, you may know a couple, but if you know any of them, I'll be surprised, because it's like this bubble of New Zealand artists. People don't, you know, they don't have the international recognition, which is fine. That's not the issue. Just to clarify, this part of the video is not meant to be some sort of weird brag where I'm saying you don't know what this is. This is leading into a point of me explaining that it's crazy that these records are so expensive to buy, because globally no one knows what the fuck they are, but within New Zealand they're seen as these rare collector's pieces. I realized the way I said it, it sort of came across as these are too obscure for you to know, blah blah blah. You know, that's not what I'm trying to do. The point was, yeah, it's insane that such a small pool of interest, the record's going to be so highly priced, sort of. It's just because these records were pressed in so a record in America that is really hard to find, really expensive. It's probably hard to find because there's so many people and it's so popular that it sold out and people are holding on to it. It's a great record for a reason. It's hard to find. Whereas records in New Zealand were pressed in so small amounts that they are maybe rare, not because they're particularly good, but just because they were, you know, people who collect the records because they're rare, not because they're good. Now, I've got a record in the stack here that it has sold, and it is for sale on Discogs for $600, and I know for sure it's good, it's great, it's a nice record, but how do you justify that amount of money? It's just absolutely stupid. So it's this weird balance where within New Zealand there's a collector's market where people can, like, they've built this almost artificial market of average records pumped up because you know they're only pressed to 100 or 200, and it's just out of control. Like you often see one copy for sale and it's going for 500. So, you know, someone else finds a copy for $1 and they go, well, it's $500 on Discogs. That means I can sell it for 480. And it's just because these records are quite small or unknown, it's so easy just to create an artificial market because there's less people interested. And like the perceived rarity of these records can just change like that, you know. It's also not just New Zealand music, but New Zealand pressings of stuff. For whatever reason, they are deemed to be rarer and therefore more valuable. And it just annoys me because it seems to be so focused around rarity over music. And, you know, it just annoys me. And I get it, things are expensive because they're rare, but people, we just seem to be living in a society where people want something because it's rare or because it's hard to get, not necessarily because it's good. You know, like, or because it's limited. I don't know, I don't subscribe to this idea that because no one else can get it, I want it. I don't know if that's some sort of like one-upmanship or, I don't know. This is just me getting it all off my chest, I suppose. I'm not like trying to tell you the truth or, I don't know. It just gets to me that I don't know, like some of these records I would not pay what they go for online. This is the main one that I'm talking about, which if you're into New Zealand music, this is a ridiculously hard record to find. It's called 4 Stars, and it's a compilation of New Zealand Indian post-punk bands from the 80s on Sausage Records. Yeah, this is on Discogs at the moment for $600, and as you can see, I found a absolutely mint condition which is $40. So, given the clean, it's in absolute mint shape. It's good. It's just post-punk bands, but I just don't understand how it can get to that price. I mean, there's about 3 or 4 well-known record, and I call them collectors because I know they're not music lovers in New Zealand, that snap up these records and flip them for stupid amounts of money to overseas buyers, and they've just created this whole perceived. I'm not going to say perceived rarity because they are rare, sure, but perceived quality. You know, I just hate it. I hate records that get talked up and then not as great just because they're rare. It just doesn't seem to be about music. It annoys me. That's why I'm making this video. But in saying that, you know, I'm actually stoked to get this. I'll definitely be keeping it because it's a really cool compilation of New Zealand punk, and like, you know, the Wall Sockets and Life in the Fridge Exist are really fantastic. They're really great tracks. But how do you, for an EP, for a compilation, how is it $546? It's people with too much money. I don't know. People are buying them. It just blows my mind. It's just, can it be that good? I don't know. What I'm trying to say is it's easier in a smaller market for this stuff to happen. Whereas I feel like in America, if someone started doing that, you just say bullshit. Because there's so many more people that can regulate that, and so many. I don't know. It annoys me because there's sellers on buyers that will. I'm just repeating myself now in certain ways, but yeah, it's just there's this massive artificial market here of what's perceived to be rare records. Like I speak to older guys here who say, "Oh, I've got this record. You know, I bought it for $10 6 years ago. Oh, do you know how much it goes for now? You know, it's a $400 record," and they just can't believe it because it's just gone like that. Anyway, on to the fun stuff. I will show you what I've got. Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff it wasn't cheap. This is one I'm really happy with. Grandma's Handbag. I'm going to have to show this because I know you're a big fan. This is the Great Unwashed Clean Out of Our Minds. It's the Clean as sort of a side project with a different name, which obviously the Great Unwashed being a sort of obviously counterpoint to the Clean. This is an amazing record. It's really unique. Has a sort of folky, psychedelic weirdness mixed with a jangly shoegaze sound to it. It's really fantastic. See that on the back there. Now, yeah, this wasn't cheap. It was definitely just over the 3-figure mark, but for an original pressing, that's a quarter of what it goes for. You know. I don't know if I'm even going to put this video up now because I had all these great ideas in my head that I was going to say, and now they've all just completely fallen out. The Verlaines 10 o'clock in the afternoon. Now this, Mike, Bostonian Reggie, tell me if you haven't got this and if you want it, because I can't connect with it. But it's you know, a rare fucking record for whatever reason. This is the Verlaines on Flying Nun at 10 o'clock in the afternoon. It's an indie jungle EP. I got this really cheap, so Mike, if you don't have this, let me know, and it's yours. We'll send it over. Okay, this is one of the prime suspects. Okay, so this record here, I paid $5 for it. I looked on Discogs and I had a heart attack because it's a $400 record apparently. It's a folk compilation of New Zealand folk music compiled, and I think it was the first document of New Zealand folk music, but it's massively average. It's completely fine. It's not terrible. It's just fine. I mean, it's just okay. But because it's rare, apparently it's rare. I imagine there was like, you know, maybe 100 of these pressed or something like that. It goes for a stupid amount of money. Now, do I keep this or do I get rid of it? Well, I'll probably regret it if I get rid of it because maybe it will be worth double in another 10 years time, who knows. But I've never seen it before. A lot of people don't know anything about it, but because it's so easy these days with Discogs, you can just chuck up a stupid price on it. It's fine. I listened to it a couple of times. It's not out of this world. I just feel like to have a $500 status, it should be a legendary record. It should be an important record. It should be a mind-blowing record. But it's not. It's just so weird. This is a great record. Who Could Have Conned the Mustard by Board Games. This is a punk record featuring Shane Carter, who went on to be in Straight Jacket Fits and Dimmer. Again, an original Flying Nun pressing. They're stupid, you know. I paid, you know, less than a quarter of what this can go for online. But again, you know, like, it's one of those things where I got this at the Deceased Estate sale. If this was in a record store, they would easily sell that for 4 times the amount, 5 times the amount, because of Rarity. This is a great record. This is 3. I'll have a look at it. 3 visions, 3 virgins, 3 visions, 3 versions. Axemen. This is a 2 LP. This is really great. Like, garage rock, bits of punk, just fun music. They're just pissing around on Flying Nun. I really enjoy this record. The Axemen have had some stuff reissued a couple of years ago that's worth checking out. Yeah, I was happy to get this because it's been on my radar for a while. Stoked. Yeah, I got an original of this. It has been reissued and it's an awesome record. I'd been holding off for an original, but I never thought I would see one. And I found it. I had a heart attack when I saw this at Deceased Estate sale. I just could not put it back. Beatin Hearts by Builders. This is a legend. This is a legendary New Zealand record, and this is rightly so. Like, this is not the case. Yeah, amazing record. Yeah, check it out. I'm a big fan. This one isn't super rare, but for some reason it's very expensive. This is the one of the main Bats records I was missing. I think I have most of the early ones now. Pretty sure I have most of them. Here is Music by the Fireside. This is a really nice indie jangle record. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Bats. I've talked about them in previous New Zealand records. 2 that just came in the mail the other day. To get these 2 records, noticed that there's a buyer here on the internet and the local, like, New Zealand record marketplace that is notorious for buying stuff low and flipping them a week later for a profit. And I noticed that he was bidding, so I thought, fucking hell, I'm never gonna win these records because I know that he'll be able to buy them high and sell them even higher. Because that's what it does. Whereas I didn't want to pay anywhere near full price, but luckily, for whatever reason, he backed off and I managed to snag them. This is Primitive Art Group, 5-tread drop down on Braille, which is a label I talk about a lot. Absolutely stoked to have this record. It's a 2 LP thing. It sounds magnificent. Free jazz, avant-garde. It has like the playfulness of like Dolphy and Monk, and the screeching of Ornette Coleman. Whimsical, interesting, technical. Yeah, it's really wonderful. Again, a stupidly expensive record. I just got lucky that I got it on an auction site at a really good price. I mean, when I say a really good price, there's copies for $120 on Discogs, and I paid $55. So that's a really good price for me. That's a win. And this is the second one, Future Jaw Clap. Again, this is a Discogs $200 record, and this was $55 as well. It's just stupid. It's just inflation. Again, this is a similar vibe. Yeah, I'm getting there with the Braille stuff, which it's all fantastic. I absolutely love it. While editing, I realised that I completely missed out a record to show. This is another one that I got for $10, and as of 3 days ago, there's a copy on Discogs for a whopping $321. It's actually since gone off Discogs, so I feel like it must have, either the seller's taken it down or it was sold for that amount. As you can see, this is a ex-library copy. It's really nice. Again, it's good post-punk. It's obviously very rare, but it's just, again, a perfect example of like a crazy amount of money. This is a very early Flying Nun release. I'll chuck them on real quick. But again, nothing mind-blowing. and it's an EP as well. I'm not saying it's a average record or a disappointing record. As a standalone $10 purchase, I am over the moon with it. I think it is really good, robust post-punk, really interesting, really nice playing. I just don't understand the price gap between $300 and $40 for it. You know, it's insane. I mean, musically on merit alone, it's not worth that much money. It's just tough trying to, you know, I don't know. It's just not worth that much on a musical grounds. Yeah, I mean, I honestly purely picked it up because of the name. And I had a bit of a heart attack when I saw the value or perceived value of this record. What would you do in that case? I don't know. I feel really torn between the idea of keeping onto it because of its rarity versus do I need it in my collection? Because I'm a big advocate of like a fat-free collection and only keeping stuff you really love. Would you flip this for $330, or would you keep it? You paid $10 for it. It could be worth more in the future. Let me know what you would do. Maybe this is part of why I'm making this video. I just want to get it off my chest and see what people come back with. On to the next bit of the video. I think there's some needle drops coming up. In fact, I know that because I'm editing this in retrospect. I think what I might do is call this video something like price versus rarity versus quality or something like that, because when buying a record, that's like three things that we generally always, well, maybe not rarity so much, but price is definitely one that we always consider. And especially with these sorts of records, it's something that you do consider, is at what point, I mean, essentially the quality and the price are the two that have to matter. But, where does the line get drawn? I mean, records have to be good, right? But apparently not. Apparently they can be fine and people can be buying them for stupid amounts because they're rare. I realise in this video there's lots of me talking around things instead of saying them. So I'm trying to sort of edit back in what I did want to say. I mean, and the best way to summarize it is I feel frustrated because I feel like New Zealand music, especially older stuff, is being held to ransom almost by older collectors who can charge through the nose just because of its the small things pressed, because of rarity over quality, which is a real shame because the stuff I'll just never hear because someone's decided that it's rare and they're going to charge a stupid amount of money for it, and it's just kind of frustrating, I suppose. I don't know. I've said it and I feel like it's true. It's just collectors here are controlling the older New Zealand stuff and putting stupid prices on it, and it's gone out of control. Really, it's quite frustrating. I'll do. This record here is something that had been in my local for a while, and it's a free jazz record from New Zealand, and it'd been on my wall in the store, the record store, for $120, and it's been there for a few months. And every time I saw it, I was like, "Oh, another free jazz record." I'm not really, as you probably would know by my recent videos, I'm not massively into free jazz right now. I don't feel like I can just spend that much money on the record, but it was there every time, and it was sort of in the back of my mind. And so someone whose musical taste I really like, put a post up in a Vinyl New Zealand page, said this is a really good record. There's a clip on YouTube. I should say what it's called. It's called Songs for the Dead of Gander Mac by Phil Davidson. So the guy, it's like a private press record. The guy recorded everything himself, played all the instruments on it. Sounds like Albert Ayler, I suppose. I might chuck a bit on because there's no way there's going to be a copyright on this. But anyway, so I was like, I don't know, I've got so many free jazz records, I don't really need them. And then someone posted saying, it's really good. And the clip on YouTube is not really, it's not it's not a good YouTube clip. It doesn't really represent the record. So I went back into the store last week and I sort of gave it another listen. They have a turntable there and I gave it a proper listen, and for whatever reason it just clicked and it absolutely blew me away. You know, I couldn't believe what I was hearing, and I was like, okay, well, maybe this is why. This is a record that lives up to the rarity, lives up to the quality, because the recording is fantastic. And he's just right there in your face. It lives up to the rarity, the quality, and the price. You know, this is an example of a record where all three are high and all three work really well. You know, you can have a rare record that's priced high and the quality is shit. We all know there's records out there that has a high quality, but for whatever reason they're cheap and you can get them easy, which is fantastic. You know, it's just all about finding those parameters between the three that work really well. I'll put a bit of this on just because, yeah, I was stunned by how great this is. Now I'm going to turn around. You're probably going to have to see my ass while I do this, or I could edit that out. I'll decide in editing mode. We've got some spiritual jazz bells happening. But yeah, this is a really great tone. Yeah, all recorded in Wellington, all instruments played by Phil. Like the microphones are so that you can hear his breath. It's amazing, yeah. I'm just waiting for him to start going off. I'm sure he will. I haven't watched this one yet. That's enough of that. And if that was terrible and you hated that, then this whole video probably doesn't mean anything to you. Because I've just gone on about how the whole price rarity thing is perfect. And if you didn't like that, then that's just discounts the whole video. Yeah. Alright, fuck it. I'm going to do some needle drops on these records because I guess you probably want to hear them. You probably, you know, unless you're a millionaire, you probably, you know, it'll be maybe harder for you to hear them because some of them aren't on YouTube and stuff. I'll play some of the 4 Stars record. The artwork is absolutely wonderful though. Like, how fucking cool is that? No wonder people. Am I even on the camera? I'm losing it. I can't see. I don't even know if I'm on the thing right now. But I'll play a bit of this just so you get an idea of what it sounds like. So basically, yeah, there's 4 artists on here, and they've got a couple of tracks each. So I mean, you get the idea. Like, you know, I'm sure you can name a million other post-punk ones that have that sound. Enjoyable. We'll put some primitive art group on. I feel like I'm doing a live stream again now. It's like, which I want to do again pretty soon, actually. We'll put this on here. It's very hard to do needle drops on avant-garde jazz stuff. I'll play some Axemen. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because these are on such small labels, YouTube haven't got their copyright things on them. Although you'd be surprised how deep. I saw someone put up a video, Bo, Earhead6, he just about an hour ago put up, I'm not even on the camera, he just put up a video of him digging through what I assume is a local record store bin, and it had been blocked for copyright. I don't know what that even is. I don't know. Clearly I'm in a grumpy mood today. I actually really like this song. It reminds me a bit of Pavement. It's shit recording though. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is a very do-it-yourself record, but it does sound like it was recorded in like a toilet bowl or something. So yeah, I don't know if I'm just being a bit neurotic about this, but like, do you guys buy records because they're rare? If you see a record that you know is rare, but you don't particularly like the music, do you buy it? You know, where does the line get drawn, I suppose? I don't know. It's a tough one. I'm lucky that, you know, that folk record that is worth whatever stupid amount of money, I only bought it for $5, so you know, it was a risk I wouldn't take. Especially when some of them you can't, you know, especially at that place, the Deceased Estate sale, there's no way of listening to the record, so I could take the risks, and that's how I managed to get, you know, a lot of these records I got for a crazy low price compared to the inflated price, what they should be, you know. But yeah, I don't know, just let me know. Am I just going on a entitled rant because I'm in a grumpy mood, or do I have any valid points, or I don't know. How does rarity factor into your record collection? Because for me, it doesn't, and it shouldn't. And at the end of the day, the music should be great. And you shouldn't be collecting for the sake of rarity. I shouldn't be collecting for the sake of rarity. Everyone has their own opinion. But you know, record store day is coming up. Everyone's going to jump over the limited releases, the limited rare releases. We're going to hear all about the pink splatter limited to 500 copies. Blah, 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 blah. But yeah, hopefully I sort of got a point across, or I was trying to explain to you guys what's happening here, because it just seems out of control. it's I don't know. I don't know to what point are overseas buyers also influencing this. People wanting to buy something because it's from here. I don't know. I feel like I don't really have a way to conclude this video or end it, or a point for you to think about. I don't really, I don't even know how this video is going to come out. If I can edit it a bit, we'll see. I did notice that sometimes my videos get, 300 views, sometimes they get 1.5k views, and I don't really know why that is, for whatever reason. There's just a variation, but there's always the same sort of 20 to 30 people that always comment, always leave really nice comments that I really appreciate. But that means there's like 400 people, 500 people, 600 people that watch the videos and don't comment or don't. It's weird. It just seems like a lot of people that don't interact, or they're not part of the community, or they just watch. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of people. I'm just thinking about this now. But yeah, please leave me a comment if you do watch and you do enjoy. This is not me begging for likes and comments. It's just literally a thought that popped into my mind. Just let me know, please, because I've been doing this for way too long now, and it is starting to feel like a bit of a drag sometimes. And what makes it worthwhile is when I see the comments, and genuine comments and the people I connect with is what makes it worthwhile. But yeah, today I was going to do a vinyl finds video, but I was just feeling a bit blah, and I was just thinking about this whole ridiculous pricing of records and Rarity and stuff, and I thought, fuck, I'll just do this video instead. I might have a coffee and see if I'm feeling more inspired, because I've got a lot of vinyl finds to get through. We'll see how we go, I suppose. Anyway, thank you guys. I'll see you all soon. Cheers.